Alrighty, let's see, where are we? Great. We are live. Alright. We're back with the new Magnus skill. I just suffered through the 4-hour, 5-hour horrendous bug-filled experience that was the Magnus quest. Hate it. Thank God I don't have to do it again. So let's just quickly talk about the skill then. This is our new ranged float that flows into penetrating wind. It's our quote-unquote ranged serpent ascension. People aren't super thrilled with it. It's a bit slow. Doesn't really flow from much of anything. So let's see, what does it flow from? In both Awakening and Succession, it flows out of any umbrella animation. That's your twisting wind, riding the wind, left click. So this, it'll flow with F. Right. Next thing it's gonna flow from is Razor Wind from both specs. And it only works if you're not shooting, which freaking sucks because you have to stop shooting to use the flow as of this patch. I really hope they fix that. So you mash F, nothing, let go of F, let go of left click, excuse me, and it'll shoot. Great. Kind of sucks because it also does not flow from Tearing Arrow, which is extremely, which really sucks because you would have thought that Tearing Arrow knockback into a quick float from this thing would be a sick combo, but we're not getting that. And then for whatever fucking reason, they made it combo out of Prime Regeneration instead of Prime Nature's Tremble, so I guess you got a CC check. Because it would have been nice to be able to, you know, debuff with Nature's Tremble and get a float, but okay, it's too good for us. And then, honestly, what I think is the biggest thing is bombs. Well, 56 bombs flow in directly into the Binding Arrow with the F input, so if you ever wanted to just instantly wipe your first CC, this is what you do, I guess. But granted, like 99% of players is just going to die to that, what I just did. The funny part is that both 56 bombs work, so this is a thing. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. If you decide to be a squall shotter in PvE, PvP, that is. PvE, absolutely. Going forward, any use of squall shot, you're just gonna have Binding Arrow on as your backup. That's really fucking good for grinding. Okay, you know what? Not really fucking good, just kind of decent. It's a nice flow. It feels good. Doesn't flow out of the 57 bombs, unfortunately. You just use the SF input, which is the hardcast version. That's too. It's probably fast enough, but it feels so slow that you would rather just use a blasting gust. All right, and I believe I talked about the umbrella cast, so that also works with Call from Sky umbrella. A nice touch if you ever want to use it for whatever reason. Does not work from this. Sorry, it does work also from the evasive explosive shot umbrella. So if you ever wanted to use this as a follow-up for your evasive explosive shot stiffen, however, that doesn't work because usually you're going to catch somebody on your first cast, right? But look what happens if you use your first cast EES umbrella and then try to press F. Yeah, that's gonna be a option, but you'll have to notice this stiffen from EES like immediately. And remember, umbrella and Binding Arrow viable. Yeah, again, just more flavor because unless you don't have BG off cooldown, and that's really the big thing with this skill, you're gonna be able to get that option to follow up CC relatively quickly without blasting gust. So, in short, like, this is really more style and options than it is a big gameplay change. Granted, when you're kiting like this, get a little more distance. Distance for your turnaround attack after landing shot. So again, that's a nice option to have when you don't have BG off cooldown. I think honestly, this is a nice skill in the end, because one of our biggest complaints has always been the fact that Blasting Gust is just used for everything. It's used for CC, it's used for debuff, it's used for movement, it's used to set up Tearing Arrow from BG bypassing wind. It's used for too many functions. It's nice to have something taken off of it by Biting Arrow. That is the CC part. All right, let's see. That's it for my notes. There's a couple more input issues that have arisen because of the addition of the new skill. For example, let's see. Yeah, when you try to do the Vinod Heavenly Knot Will of the Wind combo, you can no longer Will of the Wind with AF/DF if you have Binding Arrow on locked and off cooldown, because the game will prioritize Binding Arrow instead. The SF input is been changed to Binding Arrow, of course, so you can't use Crescent Kick except off of a hotkey. And as long as Binding Arrow is on cooldown, SF does a very scuffed version of Standstill Will of the Wind. This is significantly slower than just Shift Q, so you would never freaking use this. So sad, but I would rather they make it so that if Binding Arrow's on cooldown, you'll press and kick. But for what that matters, not wishes, not really. That's it. Biggest disappointment is that you have to stop shooting with Razor Wind to cast, which really limits the options you have. Second biggest complaint, actually the biggest complaint, it doesn't flow out of Tearing. Yeah, that's it. Hope this was helpful. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.